happy hour. Oh, yeah. Hey, am I on my happy hour? Oh, yeah. Troubles on me, work it out. We will be carefree right now. Let's be free together. Oh, happy hour. Yeah, yeah. Oh, happy hour. Yeah. Hey, let's talk about it. I'm Mr. Baby. Hey, am I on my happy hour? Oh.
Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, these holidays are almost through. I'm feeling good, I look good, I smell good, and I hope that you are too. So let's take a little trip, finish up this week, and finish up this year on a wonderful note and have some fun with this particular topic tonight. Hey, folks, it's your main man, your host, your life coach, the author, Andy Brown, giving it to you with some real good game tonight on the Online Happy Hour. And I'm very excited. I'm super excited about what we're going to talk about tonight. This is going to be something really just laid back. I'm just chilling this evening. Shout out to all the folks who are waiting on that COVID check, and you still got decorations and things up all around the house. I get it. It's a little early for Christmas, but hey, I totally get it. I totally get it. Maybe you want to take things down a little bit later. You can do that. But for right now, we just going to chill. We just going to have a relaxing time. I want to get your feedback. I want to hear from the people. But if this ain't for you, no big deal. You can call in. You can hit me up, 847-47-ILIFE. Again, 847-474-5433. If you've paid your phone bill, go ahead and lock that number in, man, because I'm going to be here for a while. All right? We broadcast every Tuesday and even on Thursdays from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, living vicariously through you. And tonight will be no different. Now, what I know about tonight is that this is going to be something that most of the listening audience can relate to. Most, not all, but most. What do I mean by that? Is we're going to be discussing some things that happened over the weekend. A lot of it happened over the weekend. If you spent time during the Christmas holiday and you just hung out with your family and your friends, you know, after all the gifts were opened up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for the kids, after you were all dressed in your matching pajamas, after you all had some wonderful holiday and Christmas meals, being that we're in the midst of Kwanzaa right now, I'm not quite sure what you're eating on the regular there, but rest assured that most of us can come together and understand the 5 things I'm going to put together for you today. So I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of AD's weekend movie review. So if you spend time with your family, if you spend time with your friends and your loved ones, you can somewhat relate to this. Good evening to my people on the YouTube side. Good evening to my people on the Facebook side. On the Twitter side, you can also hit me up at my handle. Be sure to check me out, man. Andy Brown Speaks, that's the handle. Follow me on multiple platforms. And you know what? Just out of your kindness, I'm going to follow you back. Hit some likes, hit some loves. Let's dive off into this one, man. But before we do, I must let you know about a wonderful experience I had last week with Miss Latoya Moppins, those glorious gherkins. Hear me when I say, folks, those glorious gherkins, those pickles were what they were. So they are the original exotic gourmet flavored pickles. She ships everywhere. So still time for you to go ahead and get that. Go to gloriousgherkins.com, spell gherkins with the H. And you can also contact her at 214-497-2779. Again, Glorious Gherkins. Contact Miss Latoya Moppins at 214-497-2779. And be sure to get some of those fantastic gherkins. I had a garlic chicken flavored gherkin, which is a pickle, right? Off the chain. Who knew that you could make a cucumber into a pickle, into a garlic chicken flavor? She had pineapple. She has dressing, macaroni and cheese. It all tastes good. So, yeah, we're going to dive off into that and talk about that a little bit. It should represent and do what you do to get some of that flavor she's representing out of the DF Dub. So hear me, folks. You're with your loved one, right? You're with your family members, you're with your friends, and you gathered around your streaming device and you had some fun watching a few films. Now, everybody's eyes are going to see different things, so we're going to be discussing some of the pros and some of the cons of my top 5 picks over this weekend. Now, mind you, when I say these are on multiple streaming platforms, so not just Netflix, not just Hulu, not just Amazon Prime Video, and not just what's the other one? Disney, of course. So these are some of the ones that I made time to check out. Now we're going to be discussing movies, okay, not series. And I know a lot of people are involved in series, but trust me when I say I just don't make time to follow a series. I got work to do. I got stuff I want to take care of. I got some other things going on. I want to be able to bring this here. So let's kind of talk about that tonight. So we're going to get into 5 movies, not series, tonight. But if you have some recommendations, we can talk about that next time. So let me break down the 5 that I'm going to give you tonight from my perspective and open up that door. So the first one we're going to be discussing is Black Box. We're going to be discussing Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. We're going to be discussing Spencer Confidential. We're going to be discussing Sylvie's Love. And of course, we're going to be discussing Soul. Oh, boy. Pour you a drink. Sit back, relax, get interactive. Again, the call number, 847-47-iLife. The chat room is open on the Facebook side. The chat room is open on the YouTube side. Follow a player at iLife Radio. That's independent listening is for everyone radio on the YouTube side. And hit your boy up, all my followers on the Facebook side. Share this link, share some love, and let's dive off into it. And you know how we does. The thoughts and ideas displayed today on the online happy hour do not reflect those who created this platform. But what it does reflect are those who are willing to discuss their opinion as it relates to what they saw, what they viewed, what they interpreted on the films that we're discussing tonight already. So if you have not seen these films, pass this on. This may not be the night for you, and I get that, unless you just want some insight. Okay, so we're going to be discussing 5 films. The first one we're going to be discussing is, again, Black Box. We're going to talk about Spencer Confidential, right? We're going to talk about Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. We're going to be talking about Soul, and we're going to be talking about Sylvie's Love. So it's all in there, no particular order, but I might as well dive off into and hit that boy up first with Black Box. So if anybody has not seen Black Box, it is streaming on the Prime Video channel. Okay, it's Black Box. It's a movie. It's got the wonderful and talented Miss Felicia Rashad. Remember Claire Huxtable's name is going to come up again. She has been all over the place. I hope that she has a COVID test, because when I tell you, she's all over the place, and she's one of the main stars. The other guy that's in this as a star, and I want to get his name correct. I can't quite. He was in another movie with what is his name? Courtney B. Vance. He was in a wine movie with Courtney B. Vance. So I think the brother's name is Mahmoudou Athai. Cool cat, man. He's real laid back. I can't see him as being typecast right now, but this movie really brings out some struggle. So we've got the director who made his debut, Emmanuel Osel Kufor Jr. Really cool dude, man. He put together a real nice film. And if you have not seen it, against Black Box, all right? So Black Box. So what happens in Black Box is this guy loses his wife, and he doesn't know what happened. So his memory is gone. It's like amnesia. He was in a car accident. And he's a single dad, so he comes back to his daughter, right? Just raising his daughter. He lost his wife, and he kind of goes like this experimental treatment to get his memory back, because he doesn't really know what kind of relationship he had with his daughter. He doesn't know what kind of relationship he had with himself and what's going on. So this young girl, his daughter, who carries herself about maybe 8, 9 years old, She handles the biz quite well. Her name is Amanda Christine, but she plays Ava in the movie. Beautiful film. Check this out, y'all. So if you look at this, you would think, okay, well, it's amnesia. If I do some things repetitively, I can get my groove back. But he's got a good friend who's a doctor that tries to walk him through some things. So it's working out to the better, but he keeps having these flashes, man, like what's going on, and really not sure. Brother wakes up choking, can't quite get his rhythm back, and doesn't know what's going on. So it just so happens that Felicia Rashad is a doctor or a physician who's created this device to bring back some memory and help him regain who he is, who he was. Now it seems like, all right, well, if you can help somebody with amnesia, if you can help somebody with their memory, this could be very good for Alzheimer's. It could be good for those who have been in comas. It could be really great concept medically because it taps into the brain. It goes back to memory. It helps them relive what's going on, and the whole thing about hypnosis, putting you in a trance and getting you back in position to see, feel, touch, taste things that bring you back to who you are, where you were, where you lived, and what you did. So, what's up, Bobby G? How you doing, man? Happy holidays to you, man. Appreciate you for chiming in. Merry Christmas to you, for real, for real. And thank you, man. I need to reach out, and your mom gave me a call, man. I'm gonna give her a call back. All good stuff, all good stuff. So definitely love my family up there, taking their biz up north in Liberty, Missouri. This bad, nasty weather we have. But let me kind of go back to the film, right? So the film is kind of wrapped around him trying to get his memory back. He has a couple flashes, and he meets Claire Huxtable. I'm sorry, Felicia Rashad. Dr. Lillian. And by the process that he's going through, he's trying to get his memory back, but he's having to notice that some of this stuff ain't quite right. The things that my daughter's telling me that I did, and the lifestyle that I think I have, and the memories that are coming back, they don't really freaking reflect on what I think I'm doing. So the more and more he goes back to figure out his life, his lifestyle, it turns out, now watch this. Let me have a sip on this one. This is where it gets tripped out. It goes back to where this guy, Nolan is his name. Nolan finds out that he's not really who he thinks he is. This life that he's been living is really somebody else. His mindset was put into somebody else's body because that person there didn't make it through the accident in the coma. So he's been taking on this lifestyle, this new life, to be given another chance at living. We'll come back to that. Been given another chance at living. So because he's been given another chance at living, and he has these memories, not only of where the present that he has right now, but he's starting to remember who he was in a previous life and the relationship that he had with his ex-wife, baby mama, whoever she may have been, and the daughter he had at that location, right? So yes, it sounds really tripped out. It sounds really crazy, but theatrically it's put together very well. What I liked about it was the fact that it told a really good story. Okay, it told a real good story about what's going on. It also told a good dialogue of the relationship between father and son, right? Love the connection that they're putting there. And they put this young lady in a position where, it's good to see fathers and daughters interact on a regular basis. So men, if you have daughters out there and you don't know how to talk to her, this is a good film to watch because you want to see what it looks like to really interact with your daughter, with your child. It doesn't happen that often, and I want to shout out all the men who are actually stepping up there, the single dads who are representing and talking to their children, and their children can actually speak back and talk with them as well. That is a wonderful point to bring out about this movie. All right, very well put together again, but the fact that there's the dialogue and the understanding that this young lady has with her father, you don't see that too often. And I commend this director for putting that together. So please understand that is something cool. You want to be able to see and relate to this. But the science of it, of where I can take somebody's mindset and their brain and switch that over into somebody else's life, ooh, dude, know about that. As you understand, art imitates life. So somewhere along the line, there's some twisted, fucked up scientist who doesn't have a woman to date, but has spent many, many hours trying to do this kind of stuff. So you've put this in a perspective to where you're jumbling all this information out of one person's head and their mind, and you move that thing over into somebody else's spirit body, and like their soul has been snatched up and put into something else. Watch how this comes back all the way around to the movie I'm going to talk about later on. But you start to begin to see this person's interacting. You're in a whole different body. Like the life you thought you had wasn't your own. And where does that really lead you, right? This isn't the life I thought I had. But if I have another chance to move forward, what am I going to do? Am I going to have old habits come back? Because he did begin to have some different habits, right? He was one guy at first, but then once he realized who he thought he was, his attitude began to change. Can't really say if it was for the better or for the worse, but he recognized who he was and what got him in that position before. So be sure to check that out. Also, what you're going to see is the reaction that the other mother had with her daughter, how they began to treat him once she realized, okay, now that this dude is gone, now that he's out of my life, this is me moving forward. Okay, it was a bit of an abusive relationship along the lines, but she found a way to move on and move forward. And what I liked about that was she was able to move on. Okay, what I didn't like about that was the fact that this is what it takes for people who are in abusive relationships to move on with their life. If you are in a situation where it is toxic, where it is abusive, it is damaging to you and your children, you got to get your ass the fuck up out of there. Now, I don't care how safe you think you are or how pacifying you think the situation may be. You don't want to continue. That is not cool, man. There's so many women out here that are in positions of, this dude's kicking her ass and, putting the fucking Tom and Jerry on her face. That's not cool. That's not a good way, comfortable way to live. But if you're staying in this atmosphere for the child or for the safety or for the convenience, that's some bullshit, man. Do what you got to do to leave, stack you some bread, and get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't have no family, go to a shelter, go do something so you can see tomorrow. All right? You owe this to yourself. You owe this to your child. I understand you want to stay because your daughter has a father, right? But you also need to fucking leave because your daughter has a mother. Get your ass up on out of there, man. Don't stay in that abusive relationship. That's toxic. That's nasty. That's disgusting. That's painful. And you don't know what type of life or situation that's going to pass by with that child moving forward. So I definitely recommend you to check out Black Box. See that film. If you haven't made time for it, it is on the Amazon Prime Video platform. Check it out, man. If you, I know you've been ordering Amazon shit all day long and for the holidays and since you've been quarantined, so you got it. You got access to it. Check it out, man. Be sure to go ahead and log into that and peep it. So that's movie number one. Feel good? Hit some likes, man. Hit some love. Let's talk about this. So the second movie I want to talk about and discuss was Black Box. The second film I want to talk about and discuss is Chadwick Boseman's last film, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom Review. Okay? Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. So, yeah. It's what that is, man. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Now, mind you, folks, this was based on real people, but not necessarily a real event. Okay? There's some stuff in there that's pros and cons about this, and I'm going to talk about that as well. It's called Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. So I believe this was directed by George Wolfe, also kind of put together by some different writers. Ruben Santiago. I think Denzel Washington had his hand on this. So you've got Chadwick Boseman's last film. He plays a trumpeter, a horn player, Levy. Miss Viola Davis plays Ma Rainey. You've got Coleman Domingo, who plays Cutler, cool cat. And we've got Preach, aka Colonel Dr. War from what is the film? A Different World. aka Glenn Turman from he plays Toledo. Real cool cat, man. So it's a wonderful cast put together. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. You got to check it out if you're into jazz music, even if you're not, right? Peep that. Peep this film, bro. So it takes place in like the roaring 20s of Chicago. It's a hot day, and Ma Rainey's going to put together, and she's going to cut out, right? She's going to cut some songs together and make this happen. So what's going on is Ma Rainey is the star. She's that one. And Ma Rainey would be the equivalent to your Megan Thee Stallion slash Nicki Minaj type artist of her era, right? Roughly about 93 freaking years ago, this was what was going down. You know, it wasn't necessarily about the sex appeal, but it was about the appeal of what went on stage and the visual that she created with her music. So that's a beautiful thing, man. You got to realize how eclectic jazz is and the impact it had on the culture of America. So if you kind of notice on a few things, so what happened was some tension kind of piled up. Levy was kind of, hard talking. Look, I can make this happen. I'm gonna get my own band. Very, very fluent in the N-word. They were tossing around quite a bit. And I'm not even knowing if that was a real thing back then. They tossed that N-word around, but he who controls the printed page controls the thinking and has the script. So if that's what you want to say, that's what you want to say. I'm not buying that part of it. But peep game when I say that there's always that somebody that says, on the backside, I can do better. I can do bad by myself and I can make this go. So Levy had this idea like, man, my music is tight. I'm that dude. I can step out and do my stuff. What Ma Rainey's doing is cool, but my flavor and style is nice. He was kind of like the mad rapper. I got John Blaze. My shit is John Blaze. I got John Blaze shit, but y'all ain't feeling me on this. But he had his own. He was young, man. He was vivacious. He was full of life. He wanted to do his thing, and you've been there. You're 19, 20 years old, and you feel as if your time is ready. You want to shine, and you're part of something big, and you see yourself bigger. You can do that. You feel that. So Ma Rainey was, and she's in her groove, right? She knows, look, when I show up, shit is about to go down. I'm in control. I'm the lady here. I make things happen, and we don't move until I say move. You want my music? You want it the way that I do it? You wait for me to get ready. That's control. That is understanding your talent. That is not bowing down to somebody else's belief, because, hey, man, if they want your time and they're going to make money off of you, then you're going to have to give credit where credit is due and let me do my thing. I'm the shot caller here. It's what this is about. And it was a beautiful thing. But you begin to see egos clash. Ma Rainey had her thing. She was living her life. She had her guy. She had her gal. The band was in their own flavor, kind of rehearsing before she got there, and she arrived in style. Now, roughly about 93 years ago, in the Midwest in Chicago, it wasn't the norm of people of color to be riding fly and doing their thing and getting noticed. So it was one scene where she actually rolled up to the studio and ran into somebody's car. And, it was all, it reminded me of the Whole Color Purple episode when Sophia got knocked out cold and got taken by the people from not letting the people touch her kid. But it was a whole different atmosphere, right? Not the South, but the North, if you will, the Midwest. And it took issue up there. So where she was, you're like, you know what? I'm the boss here. And not everybody liked that. They didn't like that vibe. But what they did was, watch this now, they respected who she was as an artist. The guy who was directing and putting everything together calmed it down. And you could see possibly how that shit could have went totally left. But it didn't. And I appreciate the fact that it did go that way. Now, we don't know all what happened on the other end. I tried to do my own research and see how that happened, how they had some incidences, but it was based on a fictional situation. I had to go over and pull me another drink, man. That's good stuff. So be sure that you check out Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, because what happened was Levy took things into his own hands and began to kind of move a different way, right? This is my music. This is how I want to be taken care of. And you don't know his story. Everybody has their story. He began to tell his story. Ma Rainey begins to tell her story, and the different things and the struggle that people go through to get them where they are. And they're not going to let anybody take that shit away from them. And I know somebody out there is feeling that same way. You're not going to let nobody take no shit from you because you have worked hard. You know your worth. You know your value. So you want to step out there and make it happen. So no matter what you've gone through in life, what you've seen, what you've been a part of, what you've displayed, that's what that is. So it takes you and puts you into that world to where you need to see exactly how bad do you want what you say you want. A lot of people aren't willing to do that. And I've seen it, self-included. You'll just kind of back up. You'll let people run you over. You'll point blame on other people around you. But ultimately, you need to take responsibility for what you're doing. And that's what happened. Now, there's some instances that led on to some drama, some guns blazing, some people got taken out, and it wasn't a good look, right? Wasn't a good look. So I thoroughly, highly recommend you check out, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. See a little bit learn about the jazz culture. What you're not going to really talk about is the fact that there was a lot of smoking going on, a lot of joints being flared up, and the marijuana and the cannabis lifestyle was really big in the jazz culture during the Roaring '20s. And man, it was a subtle discussion about it, right? Real subtle discussion about it. You didn't really hear too much about it or see too much about it, but dude, yeah, they dove off into that shit. It was pretty intense. Pretty intense. So Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, would I recommend it? Would I watch it again? Probably not. It was good, but sometimes I just need to see one movie one time to know that that's enough for me. Not so much for me. But yeah, if you got some comments on these films, man, holler at your boy. Talk to me. 847-47-iLife is the call-in number. Again, 847-474-5433 is the call-in number. Did you like Ma Rainey's Black Bottom? Did you have anything cool to say about it? Were you feeling black box? Did you see something I didn't see? Yeah, we're going to talk about that shit tonight because I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this topic. It's just something we can put together. It's my weekend review, and I've got 5. I knocked out 2, and I want to keep going on this one because, the grease is just not getting hot. So feel me on this one as I kind of dive off into this. The third one that we're going to be discussing is something that was pretty cool to me that I liked was Spencer Confidential. Okay. Now, if anybody has not seen Spencer Confidential, this one was directed by Peter Berg. Pretty cool film, man. Like an action comedy, if you will. You got Mark Wahlberg. You got what's nasty is Post Malone is in this movie. You got the old boy Peelhead, Bokeem Woodbine. You got my main man M'Baku that's in the film. Can't think of what the brother's name is. Winston Duke. Winston Duke was in this movie as Hawk. So I've taken this film and I looked at it in a different way, and I'm going to talk about this. Hit some likes, hit some loves. Talk to me about this in the chat if y'all want to, or give me a call in about this one. So this is kind of went down with Spencer Confidential. And Spencer is spelled Spenser, not the C. Spenser, Confidential. So what happens is there's like a murder conspiracy on Spencer, who was a former police officer, and he bids his time for assaulting his police captain. So he comes back to Boston, Massachusetts after doing his bid. He didn't really go too well over in prison because he's a police officer. They didn't like that too much. So when dude gets out, some nasty stuff starts to happen, and it looks like he's taking the fall once again. But he's got, his eyes on some stuff. He's a very, very elusive detective, and is kind of have a keen eye for certain things about, how stuff went on. So you really want to put your eyes on Spencer Confidential. So it takes place in Boston, right? Boston's not one of my favorite cities. At the time when I went to Boston, it seemed to be a very conservative place to grow up. Not too keen on the people of color, but I mean, that's just certain locations. Could be. It's where the New Edition grew up. So peep this, right? So what's going on? It's a bit of a action comedy because they slinging bullets, man. They're throwing blades, and nobody's getting cut. The main stars never get shot. I don't care how many bullets and rounds you're shooting. Somebody eventually is going to get hit, but the stars never get touched. So I think that's some old G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip shit, and it's hilarious to me. But, you know, when you got the guns out and you spraying cats and nobody gets hit, something's kind of funny about that. I think we're a little too mature to be moving and doing all that stuff. And there's a lot of, you know, crashing scenes, you know, cars running into buildings, running over people, and nobody dies, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, that's a little way over the top for me. It is. I don't really dig that part of it, but I get it. It's an action comedy. It's really funny. It's really pretty action comedy, funny movie. But what it does, man, and people probably don't know this, there was a show, I'm going to date myself, back in the late 80s, maybe early 90s, where there was a guy that was Spencer for Hire, right? Robert Urich played this guy named Spencer back in the 80s, and, you know, real cool dude. And he had this guy, Avery Brooks, who played Hawk. So I can kind of see the correlation where they're trying to bring the prelude to what it is and make that into something cool, which is really, I dig it. I totally dig it. I see where you're going. You're trying to bring in that older audience and let that newer audience understand and kind of jump in on that. It's kind of not bad. Not bad at all. But what they don't tell you is that if you're going to go against the police, the crooked police officers, because it's always the cops that's got some shit to do with it. When you go against the police officers, man, two people are not going to take down an entire police department. It's just not going to happen that way. That was some old fictional crazy stuff. It was entertaining, yes. But nonetheless, the drama that's included, the side stuff, a little silly. You know what I'm saying? A little silly. Would I watch it again? Yeah, because I like action movies. Mark Wahlberg is a good actor. He's been doing his thing for quite some time. He's not so much typecast, but he's headed that direction because he plays almost the same guy. Almost a little Jason Bateman-ish. You know, now if nobody else is typecast, that freaking dude right there, he's one of my favorite actors, Jason Bateman. The dude is typecast to a T, even all the way down to his freaking wardrobe. I mean, if you don't know this, Jason Bateman has the same clothes, Dockers, Oxford shirt rolled up to his elbows, in just about every freaking thing he's played in. Everything from Silver Spoons all the way up to Ozark, right? Same cat, same wardrobe, same style. That's just who he is. It's hard to break it because the shit works. So that is the ultimate typecast dude right there. Mark Wahlberg, you're heading in that direction. You know, the tough white boy from Boston kind of got his feel into what he's doing. I get it. So you're kind of putting yourself in that position to be that guy. You know, he's the ultimate hero to save the day. He was the same dude in Transformers. He was the same dude in The Brothers. Same dude in Spencer Confidential. He's just the same guy. He was the same guy in Shooter. Same dude, man. So if you're watching a Mark Wahlberg movie, you know what you're going to get. Is it cool? Eh. Is it entertaining? Absolutely. Action-packed, comedy, funny shit. It's going to give you a couple laughs. So if you have not seen Spencer Confidential, be sure to check that out. Would I watch it again? Yeah, I'd watch it. Do I recommend you watch it? Sure. Because it's good for the family. You know, it's good for the family. You get to see my man Winston Duke outside of his role from the Black Panther. You see him get a little bit out of his role with the Jordan Peele movie, Us. So you get to see him in more of a different perspective. So Winston Duke is stretching his platform as an artist, right? Whereas Mark Wahlberg stays in this one sealed category. Same dude. Good movies, same dude, right? Even fucking kill all the way across the board. So you know he's not going to end up dead. You know he's not going to end up hurt, right? You know he's going to try to save the day in anything that he does because he's playing the justified, down on his luck hero he's just the all-American hero, right? He's the Brett Favre of freaking movies. That's why he's likable. He's relatable. And people can relate to the type of character that Mark Wahlberg plays. He's the tough guy that, had a bad break, but he still got through with it. So that's more of the Spencer Confidential. Kind of keeps it to himself while he's helping people in need and doing those things. So yeah, dig that movie, man. Check it out, Spencer Confidential, to be sure that you get some of that. Y'all feeling this tonight? I know it's a little bit different. I'm kind of touching some other keys, but I'm talking about some stuff that we have discussed and things that we have seen together over the holidays. Now, if you got some things you want me to check out, drop it in the chat. Hit your boy up on the phone line. Again, 847-47-iLife is the call-in number. Give me your take on what you're seeing, man. If you're watching something different and you see something in the exact same movie that I discussed, but you are seeing something different, hit me up and let me know. Like, AB, I see what you said on that one, but did you ever see it this way? Or, me and my family were watching that same movie. We didn't see that perspective, but what do you think about this? All thoughts, ideas, and well welcomed here. Not even the foolishness shit will get turned away. So we're going to talk about that tonight. So again, we're talking about AB's weekend movie review right here on the Online Happy Hour, getting it in, talking about this topic. Feeling good, man. I'm enjoying my beverage. As you can see, the Jameson over there on the bar. I will go over there and touch up my cup, but I think I'm all right. I also need to drink some more water. If you're not drinking enough water, folks, please do that. Your body needs it. You got to take care of yourself with all this COVID stuff going around. Make sure your body's good, healthy. I know you've been eating nasty stuff over the holiday weekend, the cakes, the pies, the cookies. Leave that stuff alone. That's not a meal. That was just pleasure food. So if you're rolling into a new you and you want to say all the new you things that you're going to be doing, and you believe this is going to be your year, what I would encourage you to do is start now. Do the detox and cleanse around these last few days of the year. You're not really going to be around anybody. Or if you are, but just take some time to get this out of your system, leave it into 2020. So when you step into next year, you'll have that fresh, cleansed feeling, not only in your body, but in your mind. So you can start anew and just do the new you deal all over again. A lot of stuff we got to leave in 2020. Like some of these movies I'm discussing. These all came out this year in 2020. So we're not going back too far. Again, I'm discussing films tonight, not discussing series. There's a few that are going on right now. If you log into your Prime or your Netflix account, they know you're watching, they know you're streaming. The price has gone up $1. So just think about how much more money they're going to be making. If they have 1 million subscribers and they charge $1 more, that's $1 million more that they can make in revenue every month. Just like that. So think about this, man. This is business. They want to put some things together. We're not going back to the theaters. We're going to bring the theater to you. Like you're seeing over here on the screen. Lots of channels going on all at the same time, but you can only watch one thing that matters the most. So, peep game, man, we're going to talk about this is AB's weekend movie review on the Online Happy Hour. I hit y'all with some game each and every Tuesday from 7 to 8:30. Usually I would hit you from Tuesday and Thursday throughout the week, but because of the holidays coming up, we got some stuff we got going on, right? So some stuff I definitely want to talk about, take care of, and do. But before we do that, I got to get cleansed myself and come back to you in a whole different way. So we knocked out 3 good films, right? We talked about Black Box, Felicia Rashad. We talked about what was that? Ma Rainey's Black Bottom with Viola Davis. We talked about just now. We talked about Spencer Confidential with Mark Wahlberg, and that's the third one. So I got two left. Oh, somebody said they watched Wonder Woman and Monster Hunter over the weekend. See, Wonder Woman was on my list to do, right? I kept seeing some people talk about Wonder Woman, and it was bad, it was horrible. And it's still DC Comics, man. It's still Wonder Woman, right? So you got to give credit where the credit's due. And maybe if the fellas are just feeling way too much guys, and you don't think Wonder Woman is popping because it's a female, or maybe it was just written back. I don't know. I'm gonna check out Wonder Woman myself later on this week, maybe tonight. But I definitely want to give my take on Wonder Woman as well. I started to watch that and talk about that today, but I didn't make time for it, man. I'll be honest with you, I didn't make time for it. So Wonder Woman is next on my plate. I think it's on the HBO Max streaming platform, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna get off into Wonder Woman a little bit later, but I got a couple more. Somebody mentioned Soul was good. You want to talk about Soul? Y'all want to talk about Soul? Are you sure you want to talk about Soul? Because I told you I was going to circle back. We talked about earlier the movie about Black Box, and how in the movie Black Box, that person's mind and everything was taken out, and he was a whole different person and got to experience living in somebody else's body in their life. Wasn't quite sure what he was doing, didn't have good memory of what was happening, but he got a hold of that device that Felicia Rashad was in this movie too. Told you, I'll come back around. Had talked about that and dove off into it. So I'm going to get into Soul. Stick around for a little bit, because I got some stuff that's in Soul that I hope y'all paid attention to Soul. I hope you really paid attention to that movie. I'm going to get off into that. But let's talk about this one real quick, because, the couples, the love story, the dialogue, the dynamic of the movie. Let me dive off into this one. I'll come back and I'll wrap it up with Soul, if you don't mind. Let's do that. So, Sylvie's Love, right? Streaming on the Amazon platform, Sylvie's Love. Yeah, right? Now this one caught me off guard. Sylvie's Love, if you have not seen this, it caught me off guard. I watched this one Christmas night, and I was looking at this from all four eyes, man. I had my glasses on. I peeped this thing, and you see I just sat up because there's some stuff in here that we need to discuss and talk about this movie here, and I'm going to come back to Soul. But, Sylvie's Love. Now, Sylvie's Love, let's get it off into this, okay? So Sylvie's Love kind of it's got what's her name? Tess Thompson. You kind of seen her from the Dear White People, right? Yeah, she was in that. She was that shit. Nnamdi Asomugha, the former LA Oakland Raiders cornerback turned actor. The brother's a good actor, right? MC Light was in this movie. Y'all don't remember seeing MC Light? She was in the movie. Ava Longoria was in this movie. They bodied her the fuck up on here, but she was in here. Carmen, the dancer, it was Ava Longoria. She was in that thing. So, yeah. This dove off into a whole nother realm. So Nnamdi Asomugha was what is Robert's last name? He was a saxophone player, right? And Tess Thompson is Sylvie. She was a young lady who was in this what is that thing called, a record shop. Now, mind you, it's the 50s, right? The early 1950s, and they were doing their thing, and her father owned the shop. So here's the breakdown of it. So Sylvie had a summer romance with a saxophone player, Robert. He took a summer job in her father's record store, and this took place up in Harlem, New York, right? 1950s. And then what happened was she was, now mind you, Sylvie's engaged. She's due to get married to this cat. And y'all talk about the love stuff, but hey, she was engaged to this cat. She had a whole fucking relationship that she was in, right? And she was engaged with this cat, and Nandi Asamoah or Robert jumped in, was like, yo, she bad, man. She fine. I want to get to know her. I'm going to take this job because my band is doing okay, but I still need to look out for me. I need to put some cash in my pocket. I got to make some things happen. So what happens is he has his eyes on her, and he's ruined, man. He's trying to, make it happen. But out of respect, he finds out the baby girl is engaged. Okay, let me step off. I'm still going to like on you. I'm still trying to holler at you because I know that you're just engaged and you're not married yet. So I'm going to let you know I got some feelings. Okay? And man, look, he invited her out to she gave him some life. Like, hey man, you say you're a saxophone player, you're going to be next John Coltrane. Let me kick you down with this album so you can play this, and if you think you're that good, let's just see how good you really are, because now that you work here, I can go ahead and front you on that record. You follow me? So she's engaging. She's not stiff. She's not blowing him off. But what she is doing is finding out more about this guy, right? She's intrigued by his behavior, his mystique. And one of the reasons I wanted to play saxophone at a young age is because something about that horn and that music just woos the beast. It gets the lady intrigued. The woodwind, the sound, the horns, man, and ooh-wee. Yeah. She was loving that. He invited her and her cousin out to listen to the band play, and it was some old Mo Better Blues type vibe. They went to like the low light club, and as soon as my man hit the stage and started blowing the horn, her seat got moist. She was feeling it, bro. Like, she didn't even recognize the fact that she was engaged, gave second thought to her dude, because she was feeling him. She was feeling what the music he was playing, feeling his style, feeling his swag, as they say. But yeah, she was all in that brother, man. And I dig it. I totally get it. She liked what she liked, right? The ladies are gonna say that. She liked what she liked. All the while, this chick is engaged. She's engaged to get married to this dude. Whole nother dude, whole nother atmosphere. Okay, I'm gonna keep coming back and touching that shit. So, they're doing their thing, they're co-workers, but he's letting it be known, hey, look, I'm feeling you, I'm digging you, I like you, I like your style. I'm engaged. It's okay, it's all good. So they go on a date, right? The reason why they go on a date is because they get locked downstairs because she's absent-minded about the door, doesn't pay any attention, so now they're stuck downstairs, having to talk and having to communicate, getting to know one another. And in less than 10 minutes, they built a relationship and a vibe that was so strong, she totally dismissed the fact that she was engaged and committed to this whole other dude. Why? Whatever reason she said yes at the time, that's her reason. But the fact is, she said, I am engaged. I am committed to this whole other dude. And I am actually in a relationship, right? People are saying, oh, it's such a beautiful love story. I can't believe that they fell in love and they got together. It was so beautiful. Love, look at black love. Look at the wonderful thing that love is doing. This broad is cheating on her dude, man. Now, if you flip the story and you come back and you say, I can't believe this dude he got a whole other wife and he's leaving his woman. He engaged with somebody else. That's why dudes ain't shit. No, man, hold on. But when she does it, and she falls for this other cat, it's a whole different story. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so magical. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, it's just so wonderful that they're engaged, and she recognizes a real man and all that. Man, look, she's engaged. She's off the market. But she made herself available. Dude walks her home and hit her with some ice cold 1957 Mac shit. Hey, look, people go on a date, usually you get a kiss goodnight. And she obliged. He made her moist at the club. She obliged with the kiss afterward. So the husband dude, who had it on lock, right, got married, did what they had to do, and did the thing. Now, mind you, over that summer. Now, the whole other dude is over somewhere preparing uh, a life to better them, right? He's getting his money on. He's NAACP. He's trying to stack his bread. He knows what time it is financially because there's a lot of chicks out here to talk about, I want to make sure I got a man with some money. Y'all heard the chick that was on Kevin Samuel's show, right? Got to have his money. He was trying to get his paper together. But he would probably be the equivalent of, maybe a six-figure dude at this time if he was handling his business. But watch the fact that what comes into play is that, she's first of all, she's privileged. All right, let's get that understood. She comes from a good, clean, wholesome family. We talk about her family. We never see his. She comes from a good, wholesome, clean family. Probably some good old Jack and Jill shit, right? Because she went to the debutantes and her mom came in and checked her ass just real quick off the cuff, like, look, I see what you're feeling on this dude, but that's not how you behave. You got somebody. Mom's checked her. She knew she was on that bullshit because you got you a whole nother dude somewhere else, and now you're feeling this cat that you know nothing about. You got a good husband over here who's gonna take care of you, but nope. Now, if you flip the tables on that, man, I'm not trying. I see all the comments. Oh, I just love the story. It was so romantic. I can't believe. And I kind of saw the Negro Notebook fable that's going on. I saw it. I saw the play. But I'm not going to let go of the fact that this chick was already engaged, right? She had a whole nother dude. And not only was she already engaged, but he's raw dog tagging it on the rooftop, right? Made her see stars to where the sex was, dare I say, of her quote in the script, extraordinary. It was so extraordinarily good that Nandi Asamoah, Robert, tagged it and they made a baby, right? She cheated on her fiance and got pregnant. She cheated on her fiance and got pregnant, had a daughter, and had this other dude in here raising a young lady, a daughter, a whole family, knowing that it wasn't his baby. But you talk about how there ain't no good men out there. Like this dude put it, man, come on. The brother took care of everything. I got you. You don't have to work. I get you on a job. I got that. But the lifestyle that you say that you want and you deserve, I'm bringing that to you full throttle. I'm giving you what you deserve and what you asked for. I've given you my hand in marriage. I've given you my word and my commitment that I'm not going to cheat on you. I've also given you the play that even though I know that this child is not mine, I'm still accepting and receiving you because I love you and I want to be the dude who's meant for you. Right? Ain't good enough. She cheated on him. And it was a beautiful love story. Oh my God. I can't believe the dynamic. They've fallen so much in love. Look at what this beautiful romance has turned into. It was a stand. It was a summer fling. She got knocked up on the rooftop and had a baby by a dude that she wasn't even engaged to, that this cat built her a whole lifestyle. A bad freaking house back in the 1950s and 60s, right? Some old Wonder Years type shit. And she had everything she needed. So she worked on her own. She just did her own thing. She's working. It was all to the good. So, peep game. As they were doing this, old boy took off. He went overseas and came back. And here's what we're doing. What we're doing is we're seeing this brother come back into her life. And they went to a little theater, the opera, some shit like that. And guess what? He got extraordinary one more time and put it down on her so well that she's like, you know what? I'm going to leave my husband. I'm going to hold in the fact that this is your child. I'm not going to tell you that, but I'm going to show you pictures of this baby that is yours, but you cannot take care of her, nor come in. Oh, it's so romantic. It's so sweet. It's so beautiful. That's that bullshit. I don't understand, man, how we're talking about this is such a wonderful love story, but she went in on her. Come on, man. It's cool. I get it. Wonderful love story. It's Negro notebook, and that's what y'all wanted. You totally got it. You totally got the dynamic of two people captivating, falling in love. He was meant for her, and she left and had a whole different life already set up. But deep down inside, she knew that he was the one that was really meant for her. And come on, come on, come on, y'all. Let's be nutritious about this. Let's step in the real world, because 1957, and swing that fucking pendulum all the way up to 2020. All that stuff you posting on social media. Now, what if that was your girlfriend? Because her girlfriend was all she did was listen. Girl, you did what? You slept with him again? You didn't. Does he know? Ugh. And here's the thing about the whole concept. Had it not been for her father on his deathbed, the lie of who her daddy really was would have taken place that girl's whole life. Had it not been for her father knowing, I know my daughter, I know my baby girl, I know what went down that summer. She can't fool me, because daddy said, how long are you gonna let this go on? When you gonna tell him the truth? Because he knows. He knew what was happening. And we're sitting here talking about, oh my God, it's a wonderful love story. I can't believe they followed for one another. It's so beautiful. It's a must see. This Broad Stone cheated on her dude, had a baby by somebody else that he was taking care of, right? And not that old boy, Robert, Nnamdi Asomugha even told her, hey, you know what? I used to be a pro football player, but I ain't got no money no more. Or I'm a jazz artist, but I really need to get on my feet. It wasn't about the money. Because he was just laying pipe and made her feel good, made her feel appreciated. That is the gist of their love and their romance, right? Because she making bank now. And I hear you say it really ain't about the money. Yes, it the fuck is. Yes, it is. Because you got a whole nother lot and life going on with this cat over here that you're not even willing to talk about. Now, the only reason that she broke loose is because the emotions of her father got to her about dad's funeral, and dude was coming in and caught her on an off night and was on some more demanding shit. Like, baby, need you in here. You put your work down. I'm looking out for you because I know this is the time for mourning. I know this is the time for grief. I want to be here for you, and I want you to rest. I want you to sit down. A lot of ladies didn't like that dude. Oh, this brother, he ain't no real man. He don't understand what she's going through. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. He's in position. He told her as she's asking for divorce and she's asking for all this stuff. He told her, I wanted to be the best man for you. Not that I demanded so much of you for you to do certain things. You could stay home. He even told her, you can work, baby, as long as it doesn't interfere with what you're doing in the house. Do what you want to do, make your money, live your life. I love you. But it's so romantic. It's so pleasing. It's such a wonderful love story. She straight up cheated on her dude, man, and had a whole nother baby. And he raised that little girl for 5 years. You laying next to a woman, it takes a strong cat, man. Let me tell y'all this for real. Ladies, if you don't want to acknowledge the fact, it takes a strong dude to lay up next to you, butt naked in your pregnant ass bed, knowing that the baby that's in here in her stomach is not his. And he's not enough for you, man. Who you fooling, man? It's so beautiful. It's a wonderful love story. I ought to reach over here and grab this remote, cut that shit on. Just that part alone. No, no. No, man. No. I'm not buying that at all, bro. I'm not. I get you that you trust me. I get it. It's romantic. You saw all the romance. You saw it all cool. It was nice. He loves her. It's beautiful. But when it came down to it, hey, what I want to do is I want to step in and I want to be that dude that he wasn't. You done left him. You didn't tell me about this baby. I had to learn about it from your daddy. He told me, but I still can't come around the family, right? But now I'm here. I want to be a part of the life. I want to live this life for you, and I want to be with you, and I want to raise my child. I don't know how to do that shit, but that's what I want to do. Didn't have no fucking plan. Didn't have no. He just knew the sex was good, and then he had a child. How to support her dreams? No fucking idea, right? How to lay up in the bed with her in the house that this other dude built? He's willing to do that, right? I don't really know what I'm gonna come to the table with, but right now I'm gonna try to go to Motown, try to get me a job, try to cut me an album, try to make it on my own, because all I know how to do is blow this horn and play the saxophone because it's so romantic and it feels so good, and it's just some wonderful love story. No money. Now today's female would have been like, "What you got on this rent? What you got on this mortgage? What you popping on this light bill?" You love it because it ain't you, right? Ain't no other dudes you know gonna lay up next to your pregnant ass, rubbing on the stomach the child that he didn't create. You know good and fucking well that's not going to happen. You know that. You know that. This is not an exaggeration. This is a fable love story. It's a good story, but it's a fable love story. And it's perfectly fine. So peep game on this one. He was like, look, I'm gonna go over here. This is a true movie. I know the other reviews were short, but I have to dive into this. This was touching because it was all over my social platform, and I was like, they ain't even looking at this shit. But that's fine. So they dive off into it. He had struggles getting work. Turns out the brother left. Why? Because he wasn't cut out to do what the other dude was doing. Whole different life, whole different cat, whole different vibe. So be sure you check out that film and watch the rest and see where that goes, right? We're talking about Sylvie's Love. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's on Amazon Prime Video on that platform. Peep it out, Sylvie's Love with Nnamdi Asomugha and Tess Thompson. The brother's a good actor. He's a real good actor. He did his thing. So let's kind of wrap this one on up. I hope y'all are feeling this, man. Hit some likes, man. Hit some loves each and every Tuesday. Not this Thursday. I would normally hit you up on Thursday, but because of the holiday, because of the new year, I'm going to ring it in a different way. But I want you all to understand what we're doing. This is the platform where you can come and talk about things and be real, be 100, and keep it 1,000 on this. So we're talking about AB's movie review right here on the Online Happy Hour. So last but not least, somebody mentioned this over on the YouTube side. Talk about the movie Soul was good. They said Soul was good, ladies and gentlemen. Soul. The Jamie Foxx starring of the Pixar animated film Soul. You got Soul with Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey talking about, now he's Joe Gardner. Okay. Now Joe was a middle school band teacher whose life hadn't quite gone the way he expected. Right? He had a passion for jazz music, and he's good. He was a good jazz person. He was good with the tickling the ivories. But when he travels to another realm, he died. He was on his deathbed. You know, he had an accident and passed away, and he went to another realm and had to help someone find their passion. And he had to discover what is meant to have a soul. Right? So the body's there, the body's in the hospital, sitting still, but he himself was going to the upper room. The upper room. Yeah. On his way to the upper room. And realized, hey, this ain't for me. I don't want this. This ain't what I asked for. It's not my time. I ain't gonna do it. So that's where we get off and start this. And here's what let me kind of move through this real quick. So he tries to go get away from the upper room and comes and like, this ain't for me. I'm not doing it. I'm going against the grain, and I'm taking my soul, my spirit, somewhere else, and it's going to travel to a different realm, a different place, because right now I'm speaking into my existence. It's not my time. So I get it. It's not the time I need to be here, and I don't want to talk about this. What I want to do is I want to go back to my life and have the life I live. So Joe says no, and he's in this other realm with these other spirits who had not had life yet, right? Had not been birthed, had not been given the chance to live in a body, so to speak. Because of that, he said, nope, this isn't where I want to be, but I have to move forward and get back into my body because I got living to do, and my dreams are going to come true if I get back to where I need to be. I still have time. I've got time. So because I have time, I want to get back to it. Now, what he had to do is he had to connect to number 22. And number 22 was going to help him navigate and get back to where he needed to be. But what happened is 22 and Joe traveled, and 22 landed in Joe's body, right? Joe landed in the body of a cat. 9 lives, different life. Follow this, okay? Keep going with this, because a lot of stuff that I'll pay attention to, and it was this feel-good movie, about making him feel good and getting a second chance in life. I get all that. So Joe got to see himself outside of his body from the eyes of a cat, from a feline perspective, and had to look up and see what his life was and how people viewed him and what was going on. And it just so happened that Felicia Rashad was his mama. Again, yeah, was his mama. I can't think of her name, Gizzy or something like that. Anyway, how she treated him was, Joe, I don't see you putting forth the effort, Joe. You're not maintaining this type of lifestyle and what you say you want to do. You need to go on and get you a good job with some benefits and live the best life you can, Joe. And stop trying to live and chase dreams that aren't coming true, Joe. That's what his mama told him. Did she believe in who he was and what he was doing? I don't know. Didn't appear that way by the way this is played out. But Joe said, you know what? There's more to me than this, and I want to find my soul, and I want to move on. And eventually had to go through some things to get back where he wanted to be, and had another chance to be where he wanted to be. But 22 said, oh, I'm starting to really experience this thing called life, and I've never had this opportunity. And a part of me says I kind of want to be here, but I don't know where I need to be. So here's 22 gets their chance, and I'm living this life, and I'm seeing what you had, and I've been missing out on that. There's a reason why 22 never got that opportunity. And people say, well, what happened to 22? How come 22 didn't get? First of all, if you're not really going to address the true fact in that, it's a good feel-good movie because Joe ended up getting his soul and getting his body and having another chance, right? Feel-good movie from the heart, and Joe is like, man, this is great. I get another chance in life, and if I get another chance and opportunity, I know what I've been through. I know what this experience has taught me, and I want to get back, and I want to see what I can do differently if I had another chance. And that's beautiful, Joe. That's a beautiful thing. But we all know, and I hope you all gather this, somebody made the comment, well, why is 22 not getting the chance to live? Well, it bothers me a little bit to the fact that we're still asking that question. How do you not know that, though? Because if we're talking numbers, right? If we're talking lifestyle, we're talking realistically, you've heard the phrase, things change, people change, but numbers never change, numbers never lie. Don't y'all know the reason that the symbolism and why it was addressed as 22? What 22 symbolizes? What does 22 really mean, the number 22? Because 22 is one of the most powerful numbers that there is. And 22 turns dreams into reality. It's not going to have a body. 22 is that energy, that balance. And when it's in full capacity, it's a builder, right? You know how 3 is a prime number, can't be divided into. We're taking 7 as a prime number. 7 is a number. Come on. Y'all know these things. You got to know, even in a different realm, in a different life, that what these numbers represent. The book of Numbers in the Bible, numbers in mathematics. We can change our dialogue, we can change our language, but we never change numbers because you cannot change numbers. And that's what the number 22 represents. Shocking. Well, why would they even select number 22? How come Tina Fey wasn't Queen or Angel or Magnolia or some shit like that? Because that's not what they're representing. They're representing the number of balance. She never had that because that's not what you're supposed to do. So she could not stay there. She was not welcome to stay in the body because that's not where you belong. Right? And it's funny, folks, how we can see all this on a feel-good movie from Pixar animation, but I also the fact that there's a lot of goddamn cocaine that goes on with these Pixar people that be displaying things and symbolism all throughout this movie, and they put it precisely in opportunistic places for us to pay attention to, but we don't pay attention to. I'm going to go there, and they're going to say, well, some people are saying, well, how come he had to, get life once he gave life to a white woman? That's not it, man. That's so not it. What you can see is the fact that here's this man, black images of now that your life is gone, how we edify you in post-life. We're not seeing that. We can talk about you now that you're gone, but how often are people getting a second chance? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the dark place that your life can go to when you make certain decisions, right? Being out in the street. See, we don't talk about the dynamic in that. What we don't talk about, see, folks, is you're not really. Every person has a body, but not everybody has a soul, right? He thought that by him playing music was his purpose in life. But your body and your existence is what you're here to create. Your soul was there to give you the platform to be creative, not just to log in. Well, I'm a musician. My whole passion is to be a musician. No, you limit yourself in a box in a category because that's all you see. But what he had to do was come out of himself to see everything that he was meant to do and desire, how he touched certain people's lives, how he gave them, the perspective, how he influenced his mother, the influence at the barbershop, right? People at his job, right? The people in his where he lived, his community, and the students. You are designed for influence. And you, ladies and gentlemen, have to take grasp of that and understand who you are, what you do, how you do it, and the certain time frame in which you have to move, right? You've got a number for when you were born and a number for when you pass away. And that energy never stops moving. So you have to be able to find your place in this realm, in this existence, in this pattern that says, you know what? I need to see and find out who I am. But you already know who you are. You struggle because you don't take the time to move in it. And you're asking people who don't know you, who don't have an idea of who you are, to justify and edify who you are. It's some people listening to me right now that'll be like, man, you know what, you right, dog. I'm going to do it. You're here to take this 2021 into a whole nother level, right? I always want to cut some people off, and I always want to, it's going to be my year. I'm not taking them people with me. Well, that's the most foolish shit you could ever say. Look at how many people and how much influence that you truly have. Your social platform that you're on right now gives you just that. You have followers, right? The dynamic of any platform that you're on, people who follow you, they're tuned into what you have to say, how you do it, and the influence that you have to live that way, right? So if you're cutting people off and you no longer have followers, people watching you and understanding how you move and navigate, then what are you really doing? You're going to live your best life as a hermit, right? Are you moving without your soul, without your purpose because you need to be in quiet? It's not the platform that's the problem. It's your behavior and the way you move and the way when you navigate yourself. So don't blame Facebook, right? Don't blame the job. Don't blame me. It's you are the one that is the constant form of energy. So it's not the other elements around you. You can constantly, oh, they don't see me where I'm at. They don't recognize who I really am as a queen. They don't see me for the king that I am. So, what does that have to do with the way you move? Continue to navigate and get you where you need to be. And if you're so focused on how they operate, you'll never get there. We have people out there who watch this right now that have Apple phones, right? We have people out here who have Android phones. So if your cell phone, whatever carrier that you have, right? If your iPhone said, you know what, I know people like this, and if I'm not gonna make another phone until they recognize who I am. Who? What? You can't do that. It doesn't make any sense. Your favorite artist or musician comes on stage and is about to light it up. Oh, they're not feeling me tonight. You know, I only had 70 people come out there and get this concert. The rest of them people want to stay at home because they're not feeling me right then. They don't know my work, so I'm not going to perform. Nah, you got that all messed up. It's not about the energy that they give to you. It's the light that you radiate and generate out to them. You follow me? If the sun, as magnificent as the sun is, was waiting on us to move before it decided to come out, it would be dark forever. And if you can't see yourself on a platform like that, then you, sir, ma'am, have more living to do than you think. Okay? I don't know where your soul is or where your life is or where you think that you're going to go, but take the time to embrace what's truly happening, man. I mean, this is a true time right now because we're able to not only capture visions, what other people have put into our mind and how we see it, but here's the opportunity to take some time to see how you need to navigate, how you need to move, what's going to be good for you in the future in the process. That's what this is really about now, right? You have this opportunity. This is my move. This is what the review I'm giving you. So based on the black box, right? You got to see the way that Felicia Rashad said this was your life. But you have the choice now that you're here that you can either listen to that or live your own life. He chose to go back, and it cost him his life again. So in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, there was a certain life that he wanted to live without Ma Rainey. Did he get far? Because he wanted his life to shine. And did it happen for him? Watch the movie and find out. Did Spencer Confidential, right? Spencer knows what's going on. This isn't how things are supposed to go. So do we let what's going on with the police department dictate how this episode goes on? Or do I shine my light and say, no, it has to be bigger than this because this problem is not with them. I'm not the issue. The issue has to be turned around. I can fix this. Because if I wait for what they say, I'm in trouble. And I didn't do anything. Again, give yourself some better credit than that. And also, if you look at the movie Sylvie's Love, right? Am I going to wait constantly until this man becomes the guy that I want him to be? Nope, she decided to leave. Right? This is the life that I want to live in the way that I want to live it. And I got to live with that decision on my own. Can I go back to this other man that took care of me and raised the baby that wasn't his? Nope, because you made that decision. Right? You want to move in that direction. And also in the movie Soul, this is the direction I want to go into and the way I want to walk and the way I want to live my life. And if I get and I can easily give up and just go ahead and say, you know what, my time is up here and it's done. But I said, you know what, I'm going to go back. Joe said, I'm going to go back because it's not about what they think of me because they think I'm dead and I'm gone. But what I believe is I'm bigger than this situation. And if I'm going to go back and I'm going to take what's mine and I'm going to move forward, regardless of what everybody else says, right? The hospital says I'm dead, right? The energy says I'm gone. I need to move on. But I say in my soul, I need to continue moving forward in this body, in this time, in this era. And somebody out there needs to be just as strong to do the exact same thing. So if you have to take it from film, go ahead and embrace it. If you have to ride that thing and move forward in a whole new life and a whole new year, go ahead and embrace it. I know 2020 has been not what you expected, but we can continue to point the finger at 2020 and say, you know what, the year was bad for me. You can turn this thing around, man, and say, you know what, I benefited from some of the great stuff that's going on. I'm still here. I got me another chance. I can do what I want to do, and I'm in position. So take this time, ladies and gentlemen, to before that the calendar turns over and things begin to reset, that you do what's necessary for your life to turn your things around and get you where you say that you want to go, and take the right steps to move in that direction so you can get what's yours. You've seen many examples of how to get this done in just those 5 films that I talked about. I'm pretty sure there's some other stuff and other things that I need to look at too, and we can talk about that. Hit me up a little bit later. We can discuss that. But what I want to address to you folks is knowing just how great your value is. So my review on these films is nothing about the review that you're going to put on yourself moving forward. So I encourage you all to not only continue watching this platform, being a part of what we got going on, but invite somebody else, man, to tune in. This is some real shit. I don't know where else you can go to get real talk from real people and see the dynamic of what life truly is on the best platform that's available for us at this particular hour. Now, if you saw you were out there and you went out there and you saw Black Box and you realized his mama was on some old bullshit, but she got away and you had to fix that and that was wrong, right? And you get out there and you saw on Ma Rainey's Black Box that Levy was on some old bullshit, but that had to get turned around, right? If you went there on Spencer Confidential and you went there and you saw that Bokeem Woodbine again, his character was always on some bullshit. Look, man, keep moving. And if you got out there and you saw the movie Sylvie's Love and you realized Sylvie was on that bullshit, come on, man. You know she was, ladies. Don't fund yourself with the love story. And if you get out there and you see on the movie Soul that Joe was on that bullshit, he knew he could do better, but he was just getting by, man. He was something better in him, and he had to move forward. And you can move forward too. I know you can, because you're making time to listen to this right here. So I encourage you, man, to continue to do that. Do me a favor, man. Share this platform with other people. Let them know, because I'm not going to be here on Thursday. Coming back next year, next Tuesday. I'm going to be sitting right here on January the 5th. Go ahead and just locking it in and talking about this wonderful thing and bringing in the new year with another great topic. I got some people that lined up that say they want to join in and see what's going on. I hope that's going to be you to tune in. So I definitely thank you for your time, man. Please go out and support what's going on with Glorious Gherkins. Please be sure to check out and get these movies, if not others, revved up and ready for yourself and your family members over the weekend. Do your own review. And I also encourage you, man, if you're on this platform and if you enjoy what you see, hit some likes, hit some loves, and tune in with me on Tuesday as you come back with another wonderful topic. I'm wrapped up 2020, and I'm going to go into 2021 with a whole nother feel, a whole nother flavor, just because we deserve it. So I definitely want to say thank you for making time. Thank you for keeping it 100. And thank you for keeping it real right here with your main man, Andy Brown. Good night to my family. Happy New Year. Go mom to my frat. And I'm gone. It's your main man, Andy Brown, right here on the Online Happy Hour, giving it to you with some real talk. Good night. I love you. And Happy New Year. Yeah. Happy hour.